Good morning. Good afternoon, everyone. It's just Cassie here for our Gene Analyst session. I didn't get any dreams recorded this morning, but I'll come back to my own and talk about the significance of having past dreams. I've been dreaming of my ex-partner a lot lately, which I think's weird because we haven't actually been together for over 10 years. It could even be 12 years, I don't know. He did make a big impact in my life, both negative and positively. And I find it's quite bizarre since I'm married and I keep dreaming of him. But I don't think it's really that unnatural. And I think a lot of us actually experience dreaming of past and past experiences. Some of my dreams are quite pleasant of him. Some of them are quite really negative of him. But I bring it down to I'm ready to deal with the past. Hi, Erin. How are you? Do you have any dreams that you'd like me to analyze for you or talk to the guides and see what message is there for you? If so, just write it down below and I will come back to it. Okay, so I'll go back to it. Sometimes we are ready to deal with feelings that happened in the past, and I think that's why we dream of past situations in the present future. Like I think it was 2 nights ago, I had a dream that I was still with my ex and he cheated on me, and we resolved it in a pleasant manner and we moved to the next part of our life. My ex-partner cheated on me many times and I didn't resolve it like I did in my dream. So I think my dream keeps coming back and back and back because when we broke up or when I was with that partner, I pushed a lot of my feelings down because I was too emotionally immature to deal with such intense emotions at that point. So when we broke up, or even in the relationship, because it did get quite deep and it was a little bit violent at the end, I pushed down all those feelings and I was pretty much in fight and flight mode. I just know at the end of that relationship I had to get the hell out of there. I didn't have time to think about my emotions, my feelings. So for a long time I was just pushing that away. But now I'm safe and my body feels safe, my subconscious feels safe, my whole essence is safe now. I think my dreams are just releasing those parts of myself and making kind of new memories in a way of how it should have been and how it could have been, even though it wasn't like this. But I think it's just our subconscious higher self way of bringing peace to a past situation that brought us a lot of grief. And that's another good thing about dreams. It just doesn't tell you what's happening in the future. It doesn't help you deal with what's going on now. It also helps you recover from a past situation that has troubled you for a long time. And it will do that by symbolic ways, like giving little ideas and that. It will do that by reliving the event so you can analyze it and build new emotions around that event. And also even by giving you another alternative of showing you how you could have resolved it in a more peaceful way and more open-hearted way. And I think that's what my dreams are telling me now, and I know that's not uncommon. Hi Geordie, how are you? Do you have any dreams also? To record down below so I can have a look at it. I know that someone did say something, so I'm just going to scroll up. Okay, I think it was Claire. Let's see. I had a strange dream last night about my husband's ex. Can't remember much, but she was at the beach with us. Claire, that was just funny because just was talking about how I keep dreaming about my ex and how a lot of our subconscious feelings, because at the time when the event happens or something happens, something triggers us, we're not ready to deal with it. So our dreams come back and help us deal with it when we feel more safe. I'll just look into that just on a more higher self level and see if anything comes up. No, Erin, you don't need to dream. It's just some people do dream more than others, and it's just usually a result of an active mind or how well you sleep or if there's anything troubling you. Um, we all dream. It's just some people don't remember dreams for some reason. I think it's, if you want to talk scientifically, it's how far are we going to our REM? Because REM is our rapid eye movement. Actually, when we sleep, it's really weird. Our eyes just turn into the back of our mind, and that's where we project ideas and thoughts and dreams onto the thing. We all do it, but it just depends how deep you go into that REM stage of if you remember your dreams or not. So don't worry if you don't remember dreams and that. It's perfectly normal as well. Okay, so I'll get back to Claire. I think it's more a resolution of you feel safe with the idea, Claire, of your husband having an ex. I don't have any feelings of worry and all that. It just feels like there's an acceptance that it's happened. And I think just the fact that she was at the beach with you was just an acceptance of that was a part of your husband's life. Um, Maybe it's that acceptance of that part of your husband as well, because everyone that we meet influences us to some degree. And it just feels like there's an acceptance there of that part of his life. And I guess it's the moving on, knowing that and being quite comfortable with it to the next phase of you and your husband's life. There may even be a release for your husband of that on the record. Like, it just feels like a last meeting, like the last resolve. So I hope that helps, Claire. Um, I don't think much is coming from it. I think it's just that resolve, that understanding, and the let going of that part of your husband's life and the lessons that he's learnt there and the acceptance of the whole situation. Okay, I'll see if there's anything else. Okay, so I'm going to Geordie's now. I had a dream about my mother, I think, passing away and me getting super angry at random persons that had something to do with her. It was really weird. I hardly understood. Okay, I'm just going to take a moment to think about this and just see if anything comes through. Okay, so the message is, Geordie, that came through. Have you been playing with what ifs? Have you been thinking about more negative things instead of moving forward with relationships that are important with you and just enjoying things for what they are? Have you been putting walls up and having those, what if that person hurts me, and not moving forward with your relationships and just being a little bit, I'm not saying like skittish, but reserve's probably the better word, like of not moving forward with your relationships because you feel that something may hurt you. That's what I'm getting at, is instead of moving forward with these relationships, there's just that kind of barrier that's sort of holding you back. I don't think it's like a huge wall, but there's just what ifs happening that's preventing you from having good relationships. And I don't think the frustrations actually with the people outside of you and the people who have any connections with your mum. I feel like the frustrations are really within you. It feels like little aspects of yourself. You're getting frustrated because you know this is happening and you want to make a decision with your relationships and move forward with them. But there's just something that's putting that little wall between you and moving forward the relationships. The advice that's coming through about that situation, those what ifs, it just feels like you're quite pragmatic. So it's just saying maybe, right, instead of thinking of the what ifs hurts, It's actually saying write a list of all the good things that could happen, just so you got that in your hand, so you can look at that for yourself and start seeing what good can come from the relationships, instead of coming from past and feeding from the past relationships that may have hurt you, and start looking at for what good could happen out of these relationships. Because I feel like it's more internal anger of, you know, this is happening, but you just don't know how to move past it. Okay, I'll just read that next message. Yes, I've been putting out walls. We haven't been on good terms for a very long time, and recently I started talking to her since my son is being born. Yeah. So that sort of makes sense of how I feel. Maybe this is just my suggestion. This is not coming through, but this is what wisdom came to me. Maybe start by using your son as a common interest between you two, so the relationship is comfortable for you, and think about all the good things that your mum could offer for both of you. Sometimes you just got to leave the past in the past and just find something that feels comfortable for both of you, that's sort of not overbearing those boundaries. Just remember with your son too, you are in control. If there's something that makes you feel uncomfortable in that presence, you can just make a small excuse like, oh, I think he's tired, I think we should go home, or something like that. So you can still have that relationship, but you don't feel too uncomfortable to be in that presence and strain that relationship any further. But it's just, as I said, what came through is think of all the positives that are there, even though they still are some negatives that are hurting you, but think of all the positives that are there in that relationship, and that will help that transition with that relationship, especially with your son, be a little bit more easier for both of you. Is there anyone else that I missed? Okay, so I just come back and I can see we've got something from Erin. One dream I can't forget was someone babysitting my son who ended up scalped. Ooh. Smoke burned and slumped dead in the corner. I went back for vengeance and killed the people with a samurai sword. You've been watching Kill Bill too much, Erin. Okay, I'll just get serious about it. Okay. The good thing about dreams, it's not real, like in the sense of that's what's going to happen. But obviously, since it's made you feel quite upset, there's a real strong message there. So I'll just read it out for the people who can't see it. One dream I can't forget was someone babysitting my son who ended up scalped, smoked, burned, and slumped dead in the corner. I went back with vengeance and killed the people, samurai swords, and burnt down the place. Maybe why I don't dream was horrible. I woke up crying and beside myself. This was when he was a baby. Now he's 7, but I'll never forget that dream. Okay, so there's a few things that could possibly happen is sorry, just listening. Okay, so what came to me is that was a projection of your own fears for him and his own safety, and I believe that's just natural for a mum to worry about these things, especially if they've also grown up in a quite impactful environment. The dream's quite violent, so it's obviously you could remember it because no one wants to hear that happening to their own son. But I think it's a projection of your fears and worries for your son of bringing a beautiful baby into the world, of the worst that could happen to him. And like those feelings of vengeance and all that kind of stuff, I think that's natural for a mum too. Like, if anyone hurt my baby, I think a lot of people feel the same about that. Like, nobody hurts my child. I just look deeper into it. Okay, and children could also represent your own inner child as well, of your own hurt and your own feelings of regret and resentment towards yourself and others as well. So I just thought that was important to bring up because I feel like this is more about you and your past experience projected on your son is probably the most important person in your life at this time. And maybe this new life has questioned you on your own life and what's happened to you. And I don't think vengeance is what you want to do, but maybe looking through and reevaluating these experiences, because I feel like these experiences emotionally that's happened to you and you projected on your son. So I think it's your inner child relating to you, your child in this dream. And there's some things that you needed to sort out then. Obviously, that was a long time ago, and you probably have sorted through a lot of those emotions, but it's just very interesting that you can't forget it. So maybe that experience you had before your child was something that has defined you as a person and defined you as the person you want to be as a mother as well. I hope that helps, Erin. Um, Hi, Margarita. How are you? Just having a look just to see that I've got everyone, just because I should be wearing my glasses, but I feel I don't like the reflection that my glasses give. Okay, so I'm going to draw a card just in case anyone else wants to write anything down and just to see what comes up for the week for us. Yes, I can really see that. And I think it's that experience, that emotional experience that will strengthen that too. Because at the moment it doesn't, because I'm an empath as well, so I can feel things in my body. And at the moment, I don't think that dream feels heavy at all. I think it's just a reminder of who you want to be as a mum. Okay. Sorry, just a lot of energy around at the moment. It's all good though, like good energy, just lots of movement, especially my heart chakra. So I think there's going to be some sort of evolution happening on a scale. Okay, so the card I got for the week is Hear the Ancient Ones. Okay, this can come depending on the reading and what cards come with it. Hear the Ancient Ones is about nurturing and listening to your past wisdom and what you've learnt. And it also could be like looking after your elderly, or it could be just reaching to that spiritual realm and asking for advice of your spirit guides. There's 3 meanings to this one depending on the level of the reading. I'm just going to talk to it, just see what it wants us to hear for this week. Okay, so it's just a simple one. Let go and release past ties. Let go and release past ties. Let go and release past ties. New beginnings, new beginnings. That's what the mantra came through, is let go and release. Let go and release. New life coming through. Sorry, there's a little eagle. I'm not sure if you'll see on the camera. I'm just really focused on this one at the moment. Really wants me to see this. So I think eagles, birds are usually about taking flight. So I think let go and release. Think about what you want now for your future. It's a good time. Anyway, thank you for everyone for being on the call with me today. I mean, the live with me today. I really enjoy doing this every week. So any time you have this time off, come and join me every Tuesday at 12:30. If you have a dream come up, just write in our group so I can bring it up next week. Anyway, thank you. Love and light, Cassie.